I want you guys to watch something with me really quick, okay? By really quick, I mean several minutes. So I've said in the past previously that Nintendo patched the Mii Gunner missile AI. Mii Gunners that were trained previously to missile spam, which was the optimal Mii Gunner, no longer can do that. If you try to train one now, it'll use missile, and then something else. Sometimes, very rarely, 3 or 4 missiles in a row, okay? So basically, it no longer can spam missile. That's kind of a big deal. So I think we're gonna have 2 points in this video. I think I have figured out sort of a way around it if you like the projectile spam missile gunner. And let's talk about the meta ramifications, because the meta ramifications of this patch, we're only just starting to see them because Mii Gunners are pretty rarely entered Amiibo. It's a rare figure and people don't like training it. The meta ramifications of this patch could be massive. So before we continue, what do we got? The 1 minute mark? You at the 1 minute mark, you still don't like the video, subscribe. You're killing me, man. You're killing me. Okay, so I've done the video before on how I think Nintendo is actually patching Amiibo AI according to competitive Amiibo, okay? Specifically, this missile change, right? If you watch this Mii Gunner, and this is not like an optimally trained Mii Gunner, this is just my half-assed attempt just to see what else it's capable of learning, right? This was the one that we trained to use a lot of charge shot to see how well it would use charge shot at the ledge, and then we threw in some missile as well, right? You'll notice previously, missile spam Mii Gunner would missile spam, jump, forward air for no reason. That was what Nintendo had changed, right? He's not doing it. He's not doing it at all. Now, Mii Gunners were never ever taught to use forward air before. That literally never happened ever, okay? Was not a thing. Like on the list of things that are things, not a thing, okay? This one's still on the ground because what is he interrupting it with? Charge shot. Now, to be fair, there is an issue with the Mii Gunner AI Samus as well about how charge shot is used. Once it's fully charged, he can, unleash it when it's not fully charged, but once it's fully charged, he can only use it at the ledge as an edge guard move for whatever reason, and he's really bad at it. But he's mixing in charge shot periodically and bomb drop. That was partially the problem with how I trained him, but he's still staying on the ground. He's still projectile spamming on the ground. Now, this is a very, very unrefined bin. I haven't bothered to do much with this. I literally just dug this out of my Amiibo cabinet, but you get the idea. It still works, okay? It's just not the same, right? You can tell it's unrefined because he didn't know what to do at point blank. He just used another missile. So there might be a workaround. I really want to know what the experts on Mii Gunner, Penger, has to say about this, right? Please, Penger, tell me in the comments below. If Penger hasn't commented, somebody ping him on the Discord server, tell him to comment. Thank you very much. Aside from that, let's talk about the meta ramifications of this, okay? So Mii Gunner missile spam is not here anymore, rest in peace, Mii Gunner missile spam. It was the most horizontally dominant strategy in competitive Amiibo ever, okay? Literally, Mii Gunner missile spam was a hard counter. It was 50-50 counter at best, I think. But usually more than that, to Incineroar, okay? Because it works. The one thing that beats a Alolan Whip is a projectile. Guess what Mii Gunner is? Projectile spam, right? First, this removes Incineroar's counter. Gone, okay? Now, there's nothing to beat a Alolan Whip. Now, Incineroar's had some AI patches as well. We covered that in the Nintendo's Patching Competitive Amiibo video. Just look it up. Amiibo Doctor, Nintendo's Patching Competitive Amiibo. Bada bing, bada boom. However, that basically invalidated so many horizontal approaches because if a Mii Gunner showed up, you were gone. You were dead, okay? Ironically, I think the elimination of the most prolific projectile user in the entire Amiibo meta, short of Ness and Link, although you could make the argument it uses them more, will actually make projectiles more viable. Think about it. Who wins with Mii Gunner missile spam versus Ness PK fire spam? Mii Gunner. Mii Gunner outranges Ness, don't they? Now, Battlefield changes things, right? I'm doing this on Omega stages to make it easier to watch for me, but Battlefield does have an effect on things. Point is, Mii Gunner outranging everything was hugely invalidating towards most options. It also had that same effect on Link's Boomerang, right? Link uses Boomerang to build damage, close the gap, so while you're getting hit by Boomerang, he's running up to you. right? That's actually something that the Mega Man AI has built in as well. It'll use jab into up tilt, if I remember. Oh, see, there's that jump forward there. That'll happen, right? Well, so Mii Gunner getting that removed means A, Ness gets a bit of a buff, B, Link gets a bit of a buff, C, any other projectile gets a bit of a buff. You know, I think this helps Snake with his grenades. This is kind of a big deal. This is probably one of the largest changes we have ever seen ever to the top of the Amiibo meta outside of new Amiibo additions. Obviously, the addition of K-Rool, Piranha Plant, and Cineroar, kind of a bigger deal than this one. That's not the point. The point is, Mii Gunner can't missile spam, folks. Now, Mii Gunner was not entered a whole lot because this is a pretty rare Amiibo. People don't like training missile spam. It's incredibly boring. Like, you have to listen, you have to, like, you know, take Coke and then, like, listen to Stadium Rave. It's that song from SpongeBob Jellyfish Jam. That's the name of that song. You're welcome. To make it interesting because, like, it's so boring, right? Point is, it's not going to be boring anymore because it doesn't appear to be consistent missile spam anymore. So, dang it, even though they were not entered often, Mii Gunner invalidated so much that the removal of missile spam is going to shake things up like you can't imagine. I don't think we've seen the ramifications of this yet because, as I said, the Amiibo doesn't get entered a lot, but we will. Keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on the Amiibo meta in the coming days because this could be major.